Hello friends, today we will discuss about Boyce Codd normal form, that is BCNF. Although the relation is in a third normal form, it may have anomalies. Now consider this example advisor. This advisor relation has three attributes: student ID, subjects and faculty. Now the underlying requirement is that we will assume a student will learn more than one subject. A subject can be taught by more than one faculty, and a faculty will teach only one subject. Okay, so over here, if we will see that student ID alone cannot uniquely identify any tuple because a student will learn more than one subject. Okay, now the subject alone cannot determine any tuple because the subject will go on repeating because multiple students will have same subject. And again, the faculty he will address to many students. Again, the faculty alone cannot be a key also. So what we have to do is we have to form a key using more than one attribute. So over here we can see that the combination of student ID and subject can be used to uniquely identify the faculty name because the faculty teaches only one subject, and the combination of student ID and faculty can be used to uniquely identify the subject. Okay, so here are two possible ways in which we can uniquely identify a tuple. So student ID and faculty is one combination and student ID and subject is another combination which can be used to uniquely identify a tuple in this relation advisor. So basically student ID and faculty and student ID and subject will be our candidate key. Okay, and out of this candidate key we will choose our primary key. So we will assume that student ID and faculty and student ID and subject, this two combination is our candidate key, out of which we choose student ID and subject combination as a primary key. So student ID and subject is a composite primary key, will be our composite primary key for this example advisor. Now the next thing that we will find out the dependency. We can see that as the faculty teaches only one subject, so by knowing the faculty name we can get the subject that he teaches. Okay, we will assume that the faculty name is unique. However, this assumption is not true because a faculty, one or more faculty can have same name or surnames, but to make this example more simpler, we will assume for now that the faculty name is unique in nature. Okay, so as he teaches only one subject, so by knowing his name, particular name, we can get the subject he teaches. Okay, so the dependency will be the faculty will be the determinant, and by knowing the faculty name we can get the subject. Okay, this is the assumption and the keys and dependency. Now we will see that whether this advisor relation is in a first normal form. Yes, okay, because it satisfies all the four basic conditions. Whether this relation is in a second normal form. Yes, because over here there is no non-key attribute. Okay, all the attributes are the part of at least one key. Okay, because we can see that student ID and faculty is a candidate key and student ID and subject is also a candidate key. Okay, so there is no non-key attribute, and that's why this relation is in a second normal form. Now whether this relation is in a third normal form. Yes, because there is no transitive dependency in this relation, that's why this relation is in a third normal form. Okay, so the relation is in a first normal form. It is in a second normal form because there is no non-key attribute. It is in a third normal form because it don't have any transitive dependency. Still we have to check whether there exists an anomaly or not. Okay. Now suppose if I remove this entry student ID 300 from this relation, what will happen is I will lose the information that he was learning physics subject, and also this subject is taught by Professor Shirbhate. Okay, so this is an deletion anomaly. Again, if I will try to insert a name of a faculty who is teaching economics subject, for example, but I cannot add a faculty with that particular subject unless and until a student opt that subject for his academics. Okay, so this is again an insertion anomaly. Okay, although this relation is in a first normal form, second normal form, third normal form, still there exist anomalies, insertion anomaly and deletion anomaly. Now this leads us to the definition of Boy's code normal form. What Boy's code normal form says that the relation is in a Boy's code normal form if every determinant is a candidate key. Okay, if every determinant is a candidate key. Now what does this mean is that our determinant is faculty. Okay, we don't have any another dependency over here. Okay, so faculty is our determinant and it is not a candidate key, but it is a part of candidate key, right? So the determinant faculty is not a candidate key, it is a part of candidate key, and that's why we are getting anomalies over here. Okay, now what we do whenever we have anomalies in our relation is we normalize it by splitting this relation into two relations. Okay, so suppose we will split this relation advisor into two relations. The first relation is student subject, which will have two attributes, student ID and subject. And the second relation will be faculty subject, which will have the attributes faculty and subject. Okay, oh excuse me, this relation will be student ID and faculty. Okay, so I will quickly change this student ID and faculty. Okay, and this I will name it as student faculty. Okay, and the key here will be student ID and faculty. Okay, so it was just a correction. I have written subject over here, it should be faculty. Okay, so we have divided this relation into two relations. The first relation is student faculty and the second one is faculty subject. Okay, so we will see to the keys in student ID and faculty relation. The key will be student ID and faculty. Okay, because a student will learn multiple subjects, so student ID cannot be a key, and again faculty will advise to many students, that's why faculty cannot be a key. So the key over here will be composite in nature, student ID and faculty. Okay, so there are two attributes in this relation, both the attributes forms a key, so we don't need to see the functional dependency. Okay, now let us see another relation, faculty subject. Faculty subject will have two attributes, faculty and the subject that he teaches. Now as the faculty name is unique in nature and the faculty can teach only one subject, so the key over here will be faculty attribute itself, and the determinant will be the faculty only, because by knowing the faculty name we can get the subject that he teaches. Okay, so if you will see to these two relation, let us consider this student faculty relation. It is in a first normal form, no problem at all. It is in a second normal form because there is no non-key attributes, So that's why it is in a second normal form. It is in a third normal form because there is no transitive dependency over here. Only two attributes are there in this relation. Okay, and whether it is in a BCNF or not, let us see. Every determinant should be a candidate key. So as there are only two attributes and both of them form a key, so that's why it is in a Boy's code normal form. Okay, now let us see this another example, faculty subject. Now the key over here is a faculty. Okay, whether this relation is in a first normal form, yes. Whether this relation is in second normal form, yes. Why? Because all the non-key attribute subject is dependent on its key attribute faculty, so it is in a second normal form. Whether this relation is in a third normal form, yes, because there is no transitive dependency as there are only two attributes. Okay, and whether this relation is in a Boy's code normal form, yes, because what it says that every determinant should be a candidate key. So the faculty is the determinant and it is the key only. Okay, so it is in a Boy's code normal form, and thus there doesn't exist any anomalies in this relation. Okay, so I hope this will help you to understand what is Boy's code normal form. In next lecture we will see what is fourth normal form. Till then, have a good day. Thank you.